Hi there and a good day to you. Today we will be talking about this maths question for primary 6 mathematics. Now the topic of maths, M-A-S-S, is a topic that is learned as early as primary 3. Okay, so as you are aware, the PSLE will test not just the primary 6 materials for mathematics, but also primary 3, 4, 5, and 6. So this was a question that was seen in one of the school's primary 6 assignments. Okay, so let's talk about it. A jar filled with 40 identical screws weigh 1.4 kilograms. The same jar, when filled with 20 identical nails, weigh 500 grams. The mass of each screw is twice the mass of each nail. What is the mass of an empty jar? Alright, so let's read it one more time. As we always encourage students to do, use the RHMC steps. So read the question twice, highlight the important words and numbers, or if you want, you can underline as well. Use the right method and check. Okay, so let's read it one more time. A jar filled with 40 identical screws. So the screws are all the same. Okay, the total mass of that jar is 1.4 kilograms. The same jar, when filled with 20 identical nails instead, so you're filling it with a different thing, okay, with nails now, it weighs at a lesser weight, okay, that is 500 grams. The mass of each screw is twice the mass of each nail. Okay, so these are the keywords. What is the mass of an empty jar? Okay, so in mathematics, each and every time you are able to draw a diagram because that allows you to visualize things better so that you can attempt the question faster as well. Okay, so the first case, you have a jar like this, and in this jar there are 40 screws. Okay, 40 screws, and the mass of this particular jar with the 40 screws is given, that is 1.4 kilograms. Okay, and you have another scenario where you have the same jar, but this time round that jar is filled with 20 nails. 20 nails, okay, and for nails. And the mass of this jar is lesser, so the mass is actually 500 grams. Now, very quickly, you can see that the units are different. One is in kg, one is in grams. Okay, so to start off the question, you must ensure that the units are the same. Okay, you can either change this to grams or change this 500 grams to kg. Now, the preference is to change the bigger number, which is 500 grams, into a smaller number, so it's easier to work with. So it's 0.5 kg. Okay, so how do I get from 500 to 0.5? I basically divide it by 1000. Okay, you must know your conversions as well. In this case, the conversions that is required is this. 1 kg is the same as 1000 grams. So that is the conversion for this question that I'm using. Okay, so this weighing scale, right, for the second jar is 0.5 kilograms. Okay, so how then do we go about answering this question? Now, as you can clearly observe as well, over here is screws, over here is nails. Okay, so to have the same comparison, I must try to change these nails into screws or change these screws into nails so that you get the same thing in both jars. Okay, so the mass of each screw is twice the mass of each nail. Let's see how we can convert the nails to screws or screws to nails. Okay, so screw is twice. Okay, one screw is like this. One nail is only half of it. Okay, because the screw is heavier, it's twice. Alright, so basically, right, if I want to get two nails, okay, two nails has the exact same mass as one screw. This is what this model is telling me. So in other words, these 40 screws, right, can be changed to 80 nails. Why? Because for every one screw, I can have two nails. Right? So that 40 screws, I can change it into 80 nails. And then I can do a direct comparison. When I have the same thing, I can do what is known as a direct comparison. Okay, so the difference in mass, when I take 1.4 kg and I subtract 0.5 kg from it, I'll get a value of 0.9 kilograms. Okay, so take a moment to think, what is this 0.9 kg telling us? Okay, number one, we have an empty jar. Now we have changed the screws to nails. So an empty jar, we fill it up with 80 nails. Number two, we have the same empty jar, we fill it up with 20 nails. Okay, so definitely the difference between 80 and 20 will give us 60 nails. And that 60 nails is because of the mass difference. Okay, so that 60 nails is contributing or is giving that difference in weight. Okay, so what I can do next is I can find the mass of one nail. So 60 nails is 0.9 kilograms. And then I can do a quick calculation to find the mass of one nail, which is 0.9 divided by 60. Okay, so let's do that quick calculation right now. This is actually a kind of problem sum, so you can use your calculator for this. Okay, so you are going to get an answer of 0.015 kg, and this is the mass of just one nail. The question wants us to find the mass of an empty jar. So what do we do next? We find the mass of 20 nails. From there, we can take 0.5 kg and subtract away the mass of these 20 nails. Okay, so 20 nails is just 20 multiplied by 0.015. Okay, so we do that quick calculation. 0.015 times 20, that gives us 0.3 kg, 0.3 kilograms, and we just have to do one last step to find the mass of an empty jar. Okay, so mass of empty jar is just 0.5 minus away 0.3, which will give us a final answer of 0.2 kilograms. Please put the units, because if you do not, the teachers will not know whether you are telling them it's kg or grams. Okay, so please put the units as kg. If you had presented your workings in grams, your answer would have been 200 grams. Okay, so that's how we approach this particular mass question.